And I was able to let us know that every camel, the average liter of water they drink, or gallons, is 40. Every camel. And that woman will fetch water for 10 camels. 10. The man said, Lord, let it be that when that woman comes, that you have sent me to take back home as a wife to my master's son. He said, let it be that very same woman will agree to fetch water for this camel. They didn't realize how much water those camels would drink. Because they've been on a long journey. He himself was thirsty. So were his camels. So when he asked, can I have water to drink? And she gave him water. And said, you know what? After you are done drinking, I will also give you your camels. It was her who made that decision. And that was what the servant spoke to God's hearing. And said, that shall be a sign. It was character. It was patience. She kept going to that well, bringing water. Going to that well, bringing water. We don't know how many times she did that. It's endurance. It's a lot of things she put in display that day. So Rebecca kept going to that and coming back. Going and coming back. Going and coming back. That man didn't drink a bucket. But the camel, each one of them might have drank 10. So what will bring what God is telling you to be this year? You must maintain a very high level of character. You must be able to stand even when it's not comfortable. Even when it's not comfortable. It wasn't comfortable for Joseph when the butler finally got reinstated and Joseph told him, listen, you will go back to your position. When you get there, do not forget. That guy was not the chariot that was going to take Joseph to where he's going. Joseph was going to get there by God, not by any man. And when the right time came, a situation was created by God. A situation was created by God, and that became the chariot that will bring Joseph before Pharaoh. It wasn't the butler. If Pharaoh hadn't dreamt, the butler is useless. It was because Pharaoh's heart was troubled, and Noah's troubled. None of those wise men could solve his problem. That was why the butler became relevant and said, my Lord, I know of someone. The wisdom in him is like the wisdom of the gods. If Pharaoh hadn't dreamt, nothing would have happened. The butler was useless in that process until a dream came. If we must experience God in this place this year. I was studying the book of Acts of Apostles, and I began to see that the first church exploded after Jesus left. That explosion came by a way of life, by the culture that was among them. The outpouring of the Holy Spirit was just a jump start. What sustained what God was going to do was the culture among them. It was their way of life. He says, and they that gladly receive his word were baptized. And the same day they were added unto them about 3,000 souls. There weren't too many people in that land at that time. What we're talking about is 2,000 plus years ago. He says, and they continue steadfast in their apostles' doctrine. There was a doctrine enshrined in their heart. It's a way of life. It was a culture. That if you have so much, you must submit and bring, because there are some in this house who have nothing to eat. And that was what Ananias and Sapphira wanted to make mockery of. What was going on was more than a show. They wanted their name on the church bulletin. So they came and said, you know what? How come? See what Judas is doing. See what Josiah is doing. See what John is doing. Why? Can we also just say that man? Give them a portion. Give them a portion. Just let them know that we are also doing something here. Their heart was not right. And that was why they could do what they did. They had no reason to lie. But because, when our heart is not right, we begin to do things that are unnecessary. All they needed to do is, we saw the land, I have made, I use half of it. Sir, I'm submitting her, thank you, God bless you. But because the Bible said earlier that there was one of them in that place, he did what? He sold his land and brought everything. A challenge ensued. They wanted to measure up. And so, the devil had his way with them. There was a culture. Do you know what it means for somebody to sell a landed property and bring the whole money for people to eat? For a church to be run. It's more than what you are thinking. But they were making mockery of it. And both of them died, one after the other. The husband came. The moment he lied, Paul said, why did you think it in your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit? Because what is going on here is not by man. We are not the one doing what is happening here. God is in this place. He's walking and moving in our midst. The moment Peter was talking, the Bible says he fell down and he died. And as soon as they take him away, the wife came joyously. You know how? Say, at least we have made our own contribution. We've been able to measure up. Our name will be there now. Everybody know what we're doing. What we've done. Probably as she's coming, they say, oh, thank you. And she said, oh, don't mention. It's okay. It's okay. And Peter said, man, what's going on? Is it true that you sold your land for this amount of money? If you look at those events, what happened couldn't happen. It's not supposed to. But when the enemy has his way into our heart, that he makes mockery, of course, he does. And they continue steadfast in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and in breaking of bread and in prayer. He says, and fear came upon every soul. And many wonders and signs were done by the apostles, and all that believed were what? Together. Listen, even God can't stop them. The only way he does it is he will bring this unity. Remember, I told one of us, these people begin to put a building together, and God said, these people, we can't stop them. They will make their way to my presence. So the only way God could stop them was not to kill them. It was to make sure that they don't understand themselves. And so when this one is talking, that one can't hear. I'm at the saying, bring the brick. And in the language you now understand, I'm saying, are you a fool? Are you talking to me like that? You are looking confused. What did I say? I said, bring the brick. What are you telling me? If you repeat that word again, I deal with you. Are you okay? I said, brick. Aren't we building? Then fight start. Before you know, everything was a change. That was the only way God could stop them. It's to bring them to a place of disunity. They couldn't understand themselves. And that's why husband and wife this year, no matter what happens, don't stop talking to one another. If you do that, listen, the devil can never come between you. It is when you are not talking to one another, that's when the enemy can talk to you separately and talk to the husband separately. That was what he did in the Garden of Eden. And all that believed were together and had all things in common, and sold their possession and goods and parted them to all men, as every man had need. And they continued daily with one accord in the temple, which means in the temple, in the presence of God, they are one accord, in unity of spirit, and breaking bread from house to house. We are not going to say, oh, he lives in a one-bedroom apartment. We are not going there. No, it doesn't matter where you are. It is befitting enough for us to come and do what we did at my place in your place. Not looking down on anybody. We are all important part and piece in what God is doing. We must build people up this year. We must build one another up. We must help each other's confidence. We won't tear each other down this year. And they continued daily with one accord in the temple, in God's presence. They were together. The spirit must be right, else you have not come to him. And breaking bread from one house to another house. He said, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to the church daily such as to be saved. This year, beside what we'll be doing on the altar here, beside what we'll be doing for God and everything we do to make church services run smooth, and what we will contribute to church service, above all, we must build one another up. And we must be open to instructions and correction. Don't wait and be pushed to do anything for God. Because listen, when you do things for God, the way you do it matters. I've shared here about a king that served God, but God had a problem with what he did. That king did everything right. Everything God was saying was what he was doing. Because he was doing it with complaining. He was doing it with murmuring. God had a problem. Which means it is not enough to do what God is saying. The way and how you do it matters to God. Process. It matters to God. This year we will build one another, because that's exactly what ministry is. Ministry is not tearing people down. When people meet you, they can't live without being blessed. It's not because you give them money. It's not because you share food with them. No. That is part of it. It's because of what is coming out of you to them. We must be valuable to one another. So that explosion you read in the book of Acts of Apostles, that the Bible said 3,000 were added to the church in one day because Peter stood up and began to speak. It wasn't only because the Holy Spirit came. That outpouring was a jump start. But what sustained what happened there, what transpired, what sustained it was their doctrine, their way of life, their culture. There were no people of need among them. So if I look at him and he has not eaten, that becomes my problem. How do you conquer such a people? You can't. There's no way you can. There's no way you can conquer such a people. And because they saw their lifestyle, their way of life, they wanted to be part of them. They wanted to be part of them. Charisma don't take people to church anymore. You need to hear this. You know why? Everybody now, today, in 2025-26, have 10-15 pastors. Because if you go online, you will see men of giftings. So that will not bring people here. People say, oh, I want to go because when he preaches, when she preaches, when she sings, okay, the phone in their hand has more than you can offer. So our culture must be our attractive force. That people look at you and say, you just want to be among them. You cannot but be in their midst. These people love this one in a different way. These people, there's no way you don't want to be there. And that was what the apostles were doing when they had no phone, they have no tablets, they have no iPads. Did you hear what I read? It said, then they that gladly received the word of Peter were baptized. And the same day, it says 3. There were added unto them about 3,000 souls. And they continue steadfast in the apostles' doctrine, their way of life, their culture, their shared purpose. We all are going to the same place. It's a goal. And they continue steadfast in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and in breaking of bread and in prayers. They were keeping the balance, materially and spiritually. It says, and the people began to fear them. What kind of people are these ones? You have an uncle that joined them, and your uncle transformed immediately. You have a sister that joined them, and that sister is no longer the same. You can't remain. You want to be there. So fear came upon the people because of their way of life. Their way of life. And all that believed were together and had all things in common. He says, some sold their possessions and goods. Not everybody had. Brought as much as they could. And parted them to all men, as every man had need. And who was I looking at? Was it a basketball player? He wrote on his shirt, equality. No, with God it's not equality. It's not equality, it's equity. We give to every man what they need to succeed. For me, it might be 10 chairs stacked up for me to see the other side of the fence. For you, it might be 2 because you are only 7 feet tall. It's equity, not equality. If I stand on that 3 foot stool tall, it makes me 8.5 feet tall. I can see the other side of the fence. But he can't if you give him 3. He needs to see the other side of the fence as well. So what do? You give him more than you give me. It's equity, not equality. You give to everybody what they need. I'm doing a Bible study with you, and now I can take you to where God wants you to be. To another person, 6 hours. I have to be patient and work with them. We must begin to fish each other out and look for spiritual needs in life of people and find a way to. We must be intentional in how we carry ourselves this year. Rebecca will fetch water for 10 camels, and each camel will drink 40 liters of water. After he gave the servant of Abraham and said, Master, I would like to feed and fetch water for your camels. One lady, one woman. You think Rebecca came into promise just because she's beautiful? No. Rebecca came into promise just because of her look? No. She had the look because the Bible says she fared to look upon. But also, she had the character. She had the character. And she was patient. She kept going to that well, bringing water, going to that well, bringing water. These are camels that have been in the desert for days. Even the man who is carrying them was thirsty. He was the one who asked for water. This year, beside anything you do in church, don't wait to be directed. Love on people. See their need. Pray for people. Invest in people. Let's invest in ourselves. Call people up. Is there any of need you want me to pray? Is there anything you are experiencing? I don't see you too happy yesterday. What's going on? We can pray. Talk to people. You don't love in quietness. And you are just there, you are looking. And in your heart, you bend your head. Then you bend it again this way. No. No matter what's going on in your heart, love is action. Love is what? Action. It's not thought. It's not thought. So this year will be intentional. And we will shut every doors. Everything that challenged you last year, you have to put them away. Shut down every feelings of discomfort and sustain a kind of a mindset that it will affect people around you. Every inadequacies that you experienced last year, let it be by God. Let it go with the year 2025. Because those things will want to remain. That's what the enemy does. They will want to still be here, and they are your enemy in the year 2026. Take risk for God. Do what? Take risk for God. Shut down every fear and every feeling of discomfort that you sustained last year. Shut them down. Take risk for God. Physically and spiritually. Do not remain in your comfort zone this year. Don't. Please, God, break out of every shell for yourself and for God. Come out. Come out. To some of us, we are not that person that is confrontational. So talking to people that we really don't know, it's difficult. I have people like that. I see people like that. It becomes a service to God. If you can break out of such kind of it becomes sacrifice to God. God knows, He sees your heart. That this person, his composition, he doesn't talk to people. And let me tell you, it's hard, very difficult, because your nature is your easiest disposition. So you are that one that no, make it a service for God. Let it be service, let it be sacrifice. Put yourself on that altar. Do we wait to be directed to do things in our house? Why do you want to wait to be directed here? Show God love. The house is not the church. The people are the church. You are the church of God. No comfort zone this year. We must break out. Queen Esther had every reason not to go to the king when Mordecai asked him to stand up for the Jews. Oh, she's not supposed to do that. You know what? She became queen because the one before her was what? Deposed. Yes. The king commanded and said, go and bring her. I want to show her to my dignitaries here. Just let her come. I want her around. The queen said, I'm not coming. That was how Esther became queen. That was how Esther became queen. So when Mordecai said, they are trying to kill us, so you have to stand up and go to the king. Take this message. Esther said, I can't go. What are you saying? I can't do it. So her fears were genuine. As a matter of fact, it is a law of the land that you don't come before the king if you are not invited. You can't. It's a law. And the sentence is what? Is death. In the case of Vashti, the queen who refused to come and show herself to the king's dignitaries, there was no death sentence. But in the case of Esther, there was death sentence. But she took risk. She took risk. Because in the first place, Esther didn't come into that space by the will of man. I know Mordecai helped her. You think she came there by the will of her own? No. So she took risk. She left the place and said, tell them to pray. Me, my servant here, we will pray, we will fast. I will take this risk. We must leave every fears we sustained for last year that didn't make us do a lot. She took risk. The order was to bring Vashti, the queen, before the people. And she said no. And that day was her last day of being queen. So the one who God now brought in, you are now telling her to go. See, what can you say? You didn't know how I got here? Somebody was removed. That was why I'm here. She disobeyed. And you are telling me to disobey. What will happen? As a matter of fact, I will not only be removed, I will be killed. It's a law. It's a law. So this time, the law working against Esther is that anyone who appears before the king uninvited is put to death. So Esther had every reason to be afraid because her case was even worse. There was no death sentence in Vashti's case. The fear, the discomfort was real. But fear, discomfort, or whatever you call it is not enough. when God is laying a demand on your life. On your life. When God is laying a demand on your life, your comfort zone is not an excuse. It is not. Your fears, they are not. I know you're thinking, but she's the queen. The queen, the king loves. How can she go? You don't go and read that scripture very well. Do you know before that day, the king has not seen Esther for 30 days? We are talking about the Persian king. They live like the gods. For 30 days, the queen he loves has not seen him. Or guy is busy. There are 500 others. Then you are telling her to go. He's looking at you that, are you crazy? What are you telling me to do? You help me to this place. Do you know what you are saying? Please go and tell her. But that I brought God back. Tell her she will not be saved. She doesn't know the heat we are feeling here. Who knows if God has brought you into this place such a time as this? And the woman said, I will take risk. Moses took risk. The fear was real. When God is in demand, fear, discomfort, they are never enough excuse. They are not. They are not. Moses had fear. He didn't want to go back. He didn't want to go back to Egypt. Because it is not because he liked it where he was. Did you know where Moses was coming from? He was a prince who became a servant. Not a servant of another king. A prince in the palace who became a servant of a priest. Elisha was to Elijah. That was what Moses became. Not a servant in the palace. He's a servant of a priest in Midian. Oh my God. That's a fall. That's what you say you fell from grace to grace. So when God asked him to go back, the fears he had were real. He killed the man. He is wanted for murder. And you want him to go back. That's real fear. But was that enough excuse for God? No. Did God bow out? No. All of a sudden, God said, I can't speak. Lord, I can't talk. Are you kidding me? And Moses was learned in the wisdom of the Egyptians and was mighty in words and in deeds. So when Moses told God, I can't talk, it is the Moses that Moses became. The Moses that left Egypt was an orator. His oratory prowess was compared to none. The Bible said he was mighty in words and in deed. But when God came, after 40 years, he has lost his confidence. He has lost everything. He had nothing left. Everything he was no more. Because now, the way servants talk and not the way princes speak. He had nothing left. Say, God, you don't understand. 40 years ago was when I was a prince last. That was the last time I was a prince. All those things I learned in the palace, they are gone. Confidence, gone. I'm not that man you knew, sir. And when God told me, I'm sending you, Pharaoh will not let you go, but not with the or sir, look for somebody else. Not me. There must be somebody else. So all God did with Moses was to bring Moses to a place of comfort. When God told him, drop your rod on the ground, he became snake. He said, take him by the tail. And when he did, he became rod again. He was still having doubt. Because listen, where he fell from, 40 years is a long time. He doesn't have that identity anymore. He doesn't know himself anymore. How can I stand before a Pharaoh? How? Do you know who he is? How can I? God, I can't. God, I can't. These are inadequacies. These are things that brings you, that when you want to do things, you see, when you remember, you go back in your shell and say, I can't. When God gets hold of you, your life, all of a sudden turn around. You have no will anymore. You are just in that bus. You are just in that plane. He's the one flying it. He's the one flying it. Even when you want to make mistake, by his grace, he will bring you back. Mercy. For 2026, mercy. A king was waiting for the prophet to come. The priest didn't come. He quickly offered sacrifice because he was scared. He was scared. And God said, I'm taking this kingdom from your hand because you didn't trust me enough to wait. God. That is enough to make you go back and say, my goodness, don't kill anybody, or this God will finish you. And another king will come. The king will rape a woman and kill her husband. He shed blood. And God told that king, said, my mercy will remain with you. He said, I will not take my mercy from you like I took it from Saul. I'm comparing the two lives. I'm comparing the two sins. I say, God, why are you doing this? He says, it's mercy. Mercy is all we need. Mercy. If you can secure God's mercy, you don't need prayer for anything else. Everything is in it. The mercy of God that brought you salvation is a general one. There's another mercy that causes you to escape the consequences of any error you make on earth. That's the mercy I'm talking about. After you are born again, all those things you did that were supposed, some consequences will still come to you. A woman who took out her womb after committing 20 abortions, because she got born again, you think she will have a child? No. Go and ask. A lot of them don't have one, but some of them do. That's the mercy I'm talking about. God will just go, I will do it for you. He says, I will have mercy on whom I choose to. That was what he told Moses. Moses was asking God for what he has never done with any man. He said, Lord, I want to see you. I want to touch you. I want to see you. I want to see you. And God said, nobody see me and leave. He said, okay, I will hide in the cleft of a rock and I will pass by, and my goodness will pass by you. He said, because I have chosen to have mercy on you. Mercy. Mercy. The astrologers, the magicians were wise men. They were great, they were powerful. So for Moses to measure up, you know what God did? He put power and unusual one upon him. Because that was his fear. He knew where God was sending him. He said, well, Lord, what are you saying I should go and do? Do you know the magicians in Egypt? God told him, he put the rod, he beat him. He said, I saw them do this in the palace. I've seen them before do this in the palace. Lord, I can't go. And God said, okay, put your hand in your bosom. He put his hand in his bosom. He said, bring it up. When he brought it up, his hand became leprous. It became white. And God said, put it back. When he put it back, he brought it out. His hand became like it was before. He said, oh God, he said, I can't go. Because he knew where he was going. He came from there 40 years ago. He came from there. All I'm telling you this morning is to boost up your confidence because you have God. If you have him, nothing should be without. Everything should be within your reach. You have God. The devil is lying to you. Sometimes he messes up your schedule, your timing, and you don't even know what you're doing. Everything is just on the back. This is you who before, oh my God, everything is magic. I want him to want to do that with me. Sometimes I will say, this 1 week I want to do this, I want to do this. You will see things will be creeping up my schedule. Things will be, I'll just be spending time on this thing. I'll be spending, I'm looking. I said, but I wanted to read the New Testament for these 3 days. I wanted to read the Old Testament for a week. You will see how the devil comes. He's a liar. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. He said, but the Lord will deliver them from me. You will be afflicted. Don't think that the devil is not in the equation. The Bible says in the book of Job, in chapter 1 or 2, he says, the children of God gathered. He said, Satan showed up. And God asked him, where are you coming from? He said, I'm running to and fro in the world. And he said, have you considered my son Job? That was how Job's case started. That was how Job's case, that was how it started. The devil told God, I'm running to and fro. Oh, you gather your people, I will come. Nobody told him not to come to the church. He's here as we are talking. Yes, you better believe it. And God is here too. It's two governments in this realm. It is light and it is darkness. Whichever one you subscribe to rules over you. We are children. We are sons and daughters of light. Jesus said, by this shall all men know me. By how you love yourself. They have heard Jesus preach. I told you just now. So everybody has 20 pastors online now that they are following. So you think charisma is what you will bring? No. By this shall all men know. It might not be your comfort zone. We must challenge ourselves. I will say he learned. He was schooled in all the wisdom of the Egyptians. And the Bible says, well, he was mighty in words. When Moses speaks, wisdom trips. And when God came 40 years later, he said, God, I can't speak. He's telling God, you know me, I can't speak. In their family, they are orator. Do you know when God told him that Aaron will be your mouthpiece? You hear what God said? I know that Aaron can talk. Did you read that? In their family, they can talk. Aaron, who never was raised in the palace, he too can talk. But Moses will look at God because the job is too tall. This is a high order. So you will always never be sufficient. Except it's not God's job. If it's God's work, you will never be able to measure. And that's why his grace is available. His grace is available. Nobody brought you where you are. It is him. Take risk. Don't let anything dictate how you manage and spend your time this year. The devil will come through anything, workplace, bosses, and everything. Put them in their place. How else would they even know that there's something you prioritize in your life? It is when things like that come. Sister, I'm sorry, respectfully. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. They know when they are talking. Say, have you considered? Have you considered him? Have you considered her? Oh, she's supposed to be on schedule. When? Oh, no, don't do that, don't do that. Oh, she likes to find somebody else. That's how they know. You see, you are waiting for a king Nebuchadnezzar to rise and begin to put fire together and say, anybody who doesn't bow, we go in here. No, that will not repeat. Your Nebuchadnezzar today can be your boss. Your Nebuchadnezzar today can be your job. Your Nebuchadnezzar today can be your child. It can be your schedule. Are you bowing before it? Are you bowing before it? You will have to stand. Do you know we can be all this nice and lose at the end? Oh yes. We must be wise. The Nebuchadnezzar of your days are not kings sitting on the throne that everybody can physically see. He can be anything. You must stand when you are saying, I'm not compromising. God is telling you, look here, look there, look there. You are compromising. There's compromise all around you. And you are looking. Are you sure? Oh yes, you are.